Hello, hello. It is day 97. Well, actually, I'm recording for day 97, day 98, and day 99. I'm going to just do an all in one because they were basically all the same. So this is for July 28th, 29th, and 30th, 2024. Basically, very quick rundown. These were 3 days that my two younger kids were gone. So what I do to create the feelings to feel the things that I want to create the feelings that whatever. I can't, I can't think of my quote right now. But what I do, uh, when it comes to these days is I intentionally offset the lack of balance that's there. Sometimes when my younger kids are home, right? When all three of my kids are home full time as a single mom, like, my house is insane. My house is very often insane, and that's okay. And I love our insanity, right? But I I very intentionally lean to the complete opposite when they're gone. So I do a ton more self-care, I do a ton more business focused, and I do a lot more one-on-one time with my oldest, which right now is deep conversations that last for hours, or watching something together, like a show or a movie or whatever that we can't usually watch with the younger two around. So I just intentionally lean to the other side, and this is what balance is all about, right? There's no such thing as actual full-time 24/7 perfect balance. What balance actually is this teeter-totter, and always making sure to balance out. So when you're heavy leaning to one side for a while, then the first chance that you get, you're heavily leaning to the other side to bring that balance back. And that's literally what I do. So these days feel amazing and productive usually, or very healing, depending on what's most needed. Um, this round was mostly very healing. It was very much catching up on rest. It was um, spending that time with my oldest, relaxing, unwinding, and just getting prepared for the next sort of big energy surge that I knew was coming. So, for any of you who have heard me or my co-coach in the Butterfly Network talk about hormone cycles, energy cycles, all of that kind of thing, I knew that, finishing out my menstrual cycle actually at the beginning of the week while the kids were gone, that I was still going to be sort of in that a little bit more tired, but starting to be more excited and motivated and all of that kind of energy. And I knew that I could force myself to work and get a ton done. And I had enough outwards energy that I could have been doing that, or I could choose to give myself that extra rest, extra self care, all of that, so that when my actual energy peak hit, I had insane, insane energy. And so that's the way that I went. I still did work. I still got the things accomplished that I needed to do, but I didn't push myself on that end. I allowed there to be that grace and that um, relaxation just to relax, especially after. So this month, this July has been a month. And I think that I've mentioned it um, previously, but in case I haven't, I think that July specifically is my trial month. It's the month of the year, it seems like, every year, where everything seems to hit at once, everything piles on, everything is rough, everything is difficult, and it's to the point of being laughable, um just with the amount of things that should be shocking that just keep coming up. So it was the illnesses, it was the fires, it was the heat, it was the all of the things this month. It has just been so intense. Getting my taxes in late and not having the money coming in that would guarantee coverage for rent, things like that, which I do have covered at this point, but it's just sort of, it's just been the pattern, at least since I left my husband a couple of years ago, which I wasn't really paying attention to if that was the pattern previous to that point. Um, but that's when I started really noticing it just crashing down on me hard every July. So, allowing it to just have been the way that it was, and especially after the previous few months. So, all of the sort of drama, the X drama, the XX drama, the just some of the difficulties that were coming up towards the end of the school year, in the spring, all of that, and just having it sort of be okay that my life fell apart for July and that it's just what it's been. Um, Finally took myself in to see a doctor, which I should have done sooner, but I always resist the doctor. And I got some antibiotics and some medication and starting that, and just like enough is enough. I'm ready to be healthy. I'm ready for things to be smooth again. I'm ready for things to be easier again, all of that. And we really do um, just get to decide, right? We get to decide that that we're done, that energetically, like, we're ready now for better. And it seems like, well, if we can do that, why don't we do that immediately? And sometimes we do, and sometimes we're there, and sometimes what we need most in the grand scheme of things is to crash and burn. We need things to sort of fall apart so that when we put it back together, it works better. So that's the way that I'm looking at it. I absolutely still believe that I am on track, that things are exactly how they're supposed to be. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, and my success is inevitable. And I can feel the energy building. So I'm really looking forward to that. And just wanted to catch up on a few days all in one here because there was really nothing massive or stand outish to report. So, anyways, that is what I have for you for these 3 days. And I'm keeping it that short, even though it's 3 days worth. And I will pick back up tomorrow. So I will talk to you all tomorrow.